Very good evening to you. I trust that you're doing well this particular evening. And welcome to Newsfeed right here at TV47, your number one home of untold stories. And speaking of stories, we have them lined up for you for the next 30 minutes. We'll be telling you what is happening in the country and even beyond. My name is Stanley Nyerengita. Buckle up for that. President William Ruto and South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa have this afternoon, among other things, agreed on new visa regime where South Africa will allow Kenyans visa-free entry from January 1st for a maximum of 90 days annually. President Ruto, on the other hand, has praised South Africa as one of Kenya's most dependable allies.
View the implementation of agreed areas of cooperation that was done in Nairobi. Kenya and South Africa have had good relations since South Africa defeated apartheid in 1994. The ties between our two nations continue to grow in all aspects of development and especially in trade. And the two countries have ratified the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, emphasizing our shared commitment to the promotion of intra-Africa trade. Today, Your Excellency, you and I are delighted to have presided over the signing of 4 instruments of cooperation that will play a definitive role in the Kenya-South Africa relations. They are 3 memoranda of understanding and 1 agreement on cooperation in the fields of correctional services, cooperation in the fields of housing and human settlement, cooperation between Kenya School of Government and the National School of Governments from South Africa, and the agreement on audiovisual co-production. On behalf of the people of Kenya, I express Kenya's appreciation on the progress we have made in the long-awaited visa-free regime between Kenya and South Africa. From January 1, Your Excellency, we will have a different regime, thanks to your personal intervention on this matter and the wealth of experience that have been brought on board by your officials. Kenyans holding ordinary passports will be allowed to enter South Africa on a visa-free regime for up to 90 days per calendar year. The two countries have also agreed on a return policy when immigration laws and regulations are breached to make sure that bad elements that try to infiltrate our borders are dealt with firmly and decisively. President Ramaphosa and I have also agreed to develop a sustainable mechanism to identify, monitor, and resolve non-tariff barriers that limit the trade potential between our two countries. We can only reap the full benefits of the MOUs and agreements we have signed through the full and effective implementation of all the undertakings we have committed ourselves to. It is important that we continue to demonstrate the viability and usefulness of the JCC mechanism in improving the quality of our relations. We are concerned over the continuing threats to international peace and security, particularly conflicts in the Horn of Africa, the Great Lakes region.
At the same time, human rights organization groups have condemned talk of doing away with presidential term limits led by Haki Africa. They have asked the Kenya Kwanza government, and particularly the United Democratic Alliance, to stop the move of attempting to introduce a bill that will steer the process in the National Assembly. Haki Africa Group has also asked Fafi Member of Parliament Salah Yakub to withdraw his sentiments, saying they're likely to cause high political temperatures in the country.
The Constitution of Kenya in Article 142(2) is very clear on the presidential term limit. It provides that a president shall not hold office as president for more than 2 terms. A period of 10 years is more than enough for the president to implement his or her agenda and deliver the promises in his or her party's manifesto. Any president who would want more time than this will be incompetent and unfit to hold that public office. We also believe that the president terms are put there for a reason: to give chance to other individuals and communities to equally get the opportunity to serve the country and introduce fresh blood and ideas in the management of national affairs.
Having been at the forefront of championing for the full implementation of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and the rights enshrined therein, taking cognizance that in the past governments have made various attempts to subvert implementation of the Constitution. For example, the Building Bridges Initiative. Viva, viva, viva!
Viva!
We shall not allow politicians who are sycophants to wage a war among Kenyans when the Constitution is very clear on what is needed to be done.
Now to some county affairs, and the formation of Kiambu County government led by Governor Dr. Kimani Wamatangi has hit a roadblock after members of the county assembly agreed to have 10 motions on each proposal, arguing that each county executive committee member has an individual responsibility but not collectively. The county assembly failed to approve 10 names of county executive committee members unanimously as it was proposed by the leader of majority. In a hot debated session, members of the county assembly poked holes on the proposal that also recommends for reappointment of some CECs who served in the previous regimes without showcasing their performance result in their previous dockets.
Extend the days, Mr. Speaker, in 1 or 2 or 3 days, Mr. Speaker. We go through the document. Members be allowed to discuss or to go to meet with the CEC, Mr. Speaker. The CEC can all be called to the Parliament, to this assembly, Mr. Speaker. You cannot employ someone that you have not seen, Mr. Speaker.
People want to bombard us with things and make it an emergency so that we pass things in the name that we are saving time. People want us to approve names and tell us that we will undo the mess. Why are we in the first place allowing the mess?
If we have issues, let us raise them here. Even if we have 100 days or even 1 year, that is why we are here, to talk and make an agreement. Postponing the problem is not the solution.
We are out of order. We should not bring someone who is old to this assembly and to our county. She will not add any value. She's a nominee who was heading the Kasoba. The wage bill is very bloated in Kiambu County. She has been in charge. She's not fit to hold any public office in Kiambu County.
It's very difficult to go through this document within few hours, Mr. Speaker. So I request we as member of County Assembly be given at least 3 to 4 days to go through the document or the report and know whether to pass it or to reject it, Mr. Speaker.
And from Kiambu, let's go over to Machakos County, where the County Assembly has approved county CECs appointed by Governor Ovinya Ndeti after a rigorous vetting process. Governor Ndeti has lauded the MCAs for approving the CECs, further confirming that they have the requisite qualifications and experience to serve in their respective positions. Sentiments echoed by Machakos County Assembly Speaker Ann Kiusia. The Assembly also approved Victor Muya Ndembuki as the county attorney.
Speaker, I want to thank you so much with the County Assembly. Mumetupitishia ma-CEC wetu. Kazi ilikuwa mzito sana kwangu, lakini kutoka sasa kazi itakuwa rahisi. Nawashukuru sana, na hata nyinyi mumeniambia when you are vetting them, muliona ni watu wanaweza kufanya kazi. And I want to assure you, hawa nimewapatia kama ma-CEC ni wachapa kazi na ni watu wanapenda watu. Kwa hivyo sisi kama county executive tutawafanyia kazi, kwa sababu wale watu mnaongoza ndio hata sisi tunafanya nini? Tutaongoza. Hao raia ni wetu sisi wote na lazima tuwafanyie kazi. Na county assembly members, na washukuru, mumekubali, mumesema tutafanya kazi pamoja. Mimi nitafanya kazi na nyinyi, hakuna kitu hapa, hakuna.
To some sad news still in the same county, a family in Kalingila village in Mavoko, Machakos County is living in fear of being attacked by a man who defiled their daughter. Now the 16-year-old Jen, not her real name, says that the man who defiled her has been trailing her when going to school. The minor is reported to have been defiled on the 14th of October 2022 by their neighbor who came into the house and demanded that she gives him tea before defiling her. After the heinous sexual ordeal, the perpetrator threatened the minor not to divulge information pertaining the act, failure to which he would kill her. The matter was reported at Joska police post. The girl says friends to the perpetrator have been threatening her when she goes to school.
Akanishika akanirushanisha. Alinitoa nguo tena akanirape, but alinifunganisha mdomo kisha akaninyonga.
Sasa nikiwa naendelea na kukitafuta kuni, mtoto alikuja kaa analia. Ile kitu nilifikiria amefanya, nilifikiria ni kama amegongwa na kisima ya maji. Sasa mtoto kumuuliza ni nini, alikuwa mpaka shingo amefula. Nikamuuliza mara 3 ni nini, akaanza kulia. Nikamwambia kama uniambii ni nini imeendelea, tafadhali unaweza rudi. Kuna mama nilikuwa na yeye tukitafuta kuni. Mama akamuuliza nini imeendelea, akamwambia ni mtesi. Mtesi amefanya nini? Amenipata kwa nyumba na amenirepu. Mtoto wangu saa hii mimi naona ako listi kwa maisha yake juu anaenda shule mbali, kijana mwenyewe anatembea, sijaona kitu yenye imeendelea. Hata saa nyingine mtoto anafikiria mtoto nimwambie usiende shule. Juu mtoto ndio expert. Saa hiyo mtoto wangu anaweza kutania na wao hapo kwa barabara, waue na watupe.
Hiyo kitu iliniuma na juu imechukua muda sasa. Juu kijana anarandaranda huku na mtoto wangu.
Right, and now the Nakuru County executive members of the County Assembly and the members of the civil society organizations have committed to ensure that the minority groups in the county have been involved in key decision processes within the county. Very own Chichi Josephine with that story.
The group, during a meeting to deliberate on the Public Participation Act of 2016 that is yet to materialize, have called on the county government of Nakuru to involve the public and more so the marginalized communities in decision-making processes regarding the county.
It was an open discussion today, and we've really enjoyed the discussions here, where the members of the County Assembly have committed to ensure that the minority communities are incorporated in key decision-making processes within the county.
The county government has also been urged to come up with policies that provide accountability in the operationalization of the Act, as well as put the issues of the minority groups incorporated in its policy documents.
So that's a very serious call to the governor of this county. That's a very serious call to the department in charge of public participation in this county, that let us have a policy, a framework that the county assembly will allocate resources to ensure that operationalization is done in accordance with the Constitution of Kenya.
And we also want to applaud them for having committed in this meeting, both the county executive and county assembly to operationalize the Public Participation Act, as well as look into issues of policy formulations.
Joseph Sang, a renowned Ogiek human rights defender from Joro, says the Ogiek community have for a long time been neglected due to their low population, and is now calling on the county government to involve them in decision making at the ward levels to ensure that there is equality.
Tunaomba kwamba kwa sababu sisi ni ethnic minority katika Nakuru County, tuhusishwe kwa kila department ya executive, tuwe na kwa zile makamati ambayo inafanya kazi pamoja na CEC waweze kuhusisha sisi.
Mimi mwenyewe kwanza nitatii hiyo sheria na nitaifuata na nitafanya public participation. Nitaomba wengine wote wa embrace hiyo, so that wasaidie wananchi wao, wawape fursa ya kuweka maoni yao, so that ingie kwa budget kwa njia mzuri.
Chichi Josephine, TV 47.
Now, the corridors of justice in the anti-corruption court will Thursday morning rule whether to drop a 7.4 billion shillings fraud case facing Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and 9 others co-accused. This follows an application by the Director of Public Prosecutions, Nuruddin Haji, seeking to have the case withdrawn for lack of sufficient evidence to mount a successful petition. The lead investigator in the case, Obadia Kuri, admitted in court there was no time to submit sufficient evidence.
I wish to make an application to withdraw the matter under section 87A of the Criminal Procedure Code.
Office of the ODP2 is equally liable, if not more liable, culpable of this miscarriage.
Also, a crackdown on counterfeit alcoholic liquor has been intensified in Juja, Kiambu County, where police have raided more than 6 illegal distillers in 2 months. Besides the drinks, police have recovered Kenya Revenue Authority stickers, an alcohol meter, and hundreds of branded cartons for various companies. This comes in the wake of at least 5 other raids on illegal distillers at private residences in the sub-county over the last 2 months, raising concerns by genuine wines and spirits distillers who accuse the counterfeiters of subjecting consumers to grave danger besides running down the business.
Hapa tulipo ni nyumba ya mtu amepata information from reliable sources anatengeza pombe hapa, tukaweza kukuja akavamiwa, lakini mwenyewe amepotea, lakini pombe tuko naye approximately ya Kenya shillings 800,000.
Wakati imeua watu, hii watu wanasemaga ni kampuni imeua, lakini ukiangalia hao ndio wameua watu, sababu pombe yetu hata ukiangalia usafi ni mzuri. Ukiangalia mambo kama chupa yetu mingi ni branded.
And still on the same matters, an association of bars and hotel owners has protested against confiscation of their members' business licenses and closure of clubs by a multi-agency team in an ongoing clampdown. The association's officials cried foul over the manner in which their businesses were closed down, allegedly by Kisii municipality authorities. However, the manager of Kisii municipality, Nahashan Ongeri, clarified that the owners had contravened liquor licensing board regulations, with some operating wines and spirits businesses as clubs. In their defense, Eric Matoke, the association's chairman, claimed that 5 clubs were affected and that no notice was issued nor consultations made in the move that rendered the workers jobless. Evan Nyaboga, the association secretary, called for dialogue between them and the authorities with a view to finding an amicable solution.
Nataka hilo jambo litatuliwe kutoka kwa kaunti yetu, especially kwa ule county municipality manager, ile kitenda alifanya ya chana, hakuje atuelezee ama atafute mbinu ya kukutana na zizi ngarawa hili maneno ishe na tuanze biashara vile ilikuwa.
Sisi tunataka kufanya kazi na serikali kwa njia mzuri, watu hesimu na sisi tuwahesimu. Msiangalie individuals, because sisi zote tunafanya biashara. Biashara hii tunainua uchumi ya Kenya. Don't forget that we are taxpayers. We are the people who pay these managers who are doing this kind of amassment. Tungehomba vile mwenzangu amesema, waende wakae chini, watuite, tuongee, tupate suluhisho.
Meanwhile, a family from Funyula Ward, Busia County, has called for justice over a dispute over a piece of land that they have possessed for over 30 years. According to Mzee Kamala Suthiambo, an 80-year-old man, he lives with fear of losing his land to his brother's son, alleging that they are working with the area's chief to fake land title deeds. The family is asking the government to intervene for justice, further asking Busia Court to play its role since land dispute cases are rampant in Busia County.
Mtu amenunua hapo. Miti zilikuwa ni kubwa, zinakauka mpaka zinaanguka. Na mtu anasema kuna boundary kwa sababu ameshauza yake, sasa wanataka tugawane riko. Sasa kutoka hapo sasa akaanza kuprosidia wale kwamba sasa sisi tunakaa kama squatters. Sasa wanauza yao, baada ya kuuza yao
Nyameniwacha nao kwa nyumba ndogo, wamesangaisa mimi sana, wakanikata na panga, wakanificha, nyumaye wakarudi hapa, wakauza samba yote. Baada ya kuuza samba, wanahusia kwa chifu. Baada ya kuuza samba tena wananisitaki. Sasa naendanga kwa koti kwa mwezi mara mbili, mara moja, mara mbili, kwa mwaka ine yote sijakuwa na usuri hata kidogo.
Kufuatana na hii samba vile hao vijana waliuza, kama mimi vile elder walijanipea report, nilistukianga tu wameuza. Sasa hata sijui waliuzia wapi. Ndio hii maneno ikawa mingi hapa na pale. Huko Busia hata watupei, hatufanyi kesi. Kuangalia tu namna hii tena wanatupea date. Kuangalia tu namna hii tena wanatupea date. Kuangalia date hivyo. Sasa hii kufikia mwisho hivi akastukia yeye pia. Ati a case imekatwa. Na hata yeye mwenyewe hajaenda hata.
Vile na sisi mzee alipoaga aliacha boundary dhabiti na kila mtu akajua sehemu yake. Na ndio maana hiyo familia ndogo ya nyumba ndogo wamepata kuuza shamba wakijua kwamba boundary iko wapi. Na baada ya kuuza ndio hivyo tumekuwa kotini, wamesumbua mzee na kesi mpaka tayari kesi imeamuliwa kwamba shamba yetu sasa ndio inagawiwa.
And to matters of health, and sale of street food and drinks in Meru has been banned in Meru County following the Minister of Health issuing a statement on the outbreak of cholera. According to the Meru Deputy Governor Isaac Mutuma, 14 cases of patients with symptoms of cholera are being investigated, while 5 cases have been confirmed. Residents are cautioned against the disease and have been asked to focus on cleanliness to prevent its transmission. Locals are encouraged to report any incidences of cholera symptoms to the health centers within the vicinity.
Suspected cases of cholera outbreak, 11 of them were admitted at various hospitals and 5 cases confirmed positive at laboratory. Currently, 1 case is in hospital and all others have been discharged. Notifying all the health workers to be on alert. The general public is hereby advised to take prevention measures that includes proper use of toilets, hand washing using soap and running water, proper cooking of foods, washing of fruits and vegetables before consumption, and consumption of safe drinking water, that is boiled or chlorinated water.
Let's go over to the Lake region now, and following a massive death of fish in Lake Victoria that has resulted in losses of over R1 million shillings to farmers, the county government of Kisumu has announced plans to give out 3 million shillings to farmers to cater for fingerlings and feeds. Addressing the media in Kisumu, Governor Anyang' Nyong'o said that an investigation conducted by the county established that the deaths are mainly caused by changes in climate experienced globally. Nyong'o also cautioned residents against dumping garbage in water bodies, adding that stern action will be taken against those found culpable. Fish farmers have been cautioned against consuming the dead fish.
What is happening in the lake is a natural but complex phenomenon that has affected the entire region, including all the counties straddling Lake Victoria. I appeal to the fish farmers to ensure proper and scientific disposal of the dead fish to avoid further pollution. While Lake Victoria is a victim of industrial runoff upstream, I also wish to instruct officers of the Department of Environment to tighten surveillance to ensure compliance by local industries.
And something else, the Rotary Club of Migori has donated hygiene products worth over 50,000 Kenyan shillings to special needs learners at Kolwal Integrated Primary School in Uriri constituency, Migori County. Hygiene products were given to the special needs children who are deemed to be more vulnerable to hygiene-related ailments, with a view to cushioning them from unnecessary disease attacks. Speaking at Kolwal Integrated Primary School, the head teacher, Mrs. Mary Nyandianga, appreciated the club, saying the donated items will go a long way in improving the hygiene of the learners, some of who come from very poor families. Mr. Peter Gwengi, a member of our Rotary Club, said that COVID-19 still remains a big threat to the Kenyan population, that it was critical for the club to promote efforts that improve hygiene of the students.
They have come to our school to bring for us gifts, hand washing, soap, Lifebuoy soap and sanitizer. We are grateful for the gifts that you have given us, and we pray that you continue assisting learners with special needs like the ones at Kolwal Primary School.
We know that Corona is still with us here, and hygiene is critical in terms of as one of the